really investing in your business, we're going to try to help you and get you onboarded.
In my life right now, I am channeling that obstacle and turning it into opportunities.
In life and in business and everything, get back to gratitude.
Welcome to the inaugural episode of MoJo Motivation,
the official podcast of AYM High Consultants.
I'm Fahim Mojawala.
And I'm Marty Johnson.
Because everyone needs a little Mo.
And a little Joe.
We are so proud and honored to welcome our first guests, Ty Deal and Shari Jones from FedEx. It's a small company, maybe you've heard of it, headquartered in Memphis, Tennessee, owning world logistics, and two of our dear, dear friends. We are very, very happy to welcome you both.
Welcome, Shari and Ty. We're so glad you could join us today. If you would mind, just give us a real quick title, name, and what you do at FedEx so our listeners and our watchers know.
Shari, ladies first.
Oh, that's great.
Shari, if you could go first.
Of course, absolutely.
Okay, hello everyone. Happy to be here. Great intro. Appreciate that. My name is Shari Jones. I've been with FedEx almost 15 years. I looked at the date today and I'm like, wow, I started off in product and now I am on the retail and alliances team. So I'm a relationship manager and strategy lead for the team. Ty?
Yes, I'm Ty Deal, Shari Jones's counterpart and little brother. I've been on the FASC, on FedEx for about 11 years now, working on the FASC program pretty much the whole time. I as well am a strategist, and we are marketing principals on the third-party alliances and business development team. That's the fancy way of saying that we handle strategy for our third-party retail alliance partners. And so if you want to put that into perspective, that's anywhere that retail services are offered outside of FedEx. So Walgreens, Dollar General, Office Depot, Office Max, and then near and dear to our heart, one of our biggest part of our networks is our FedEx Authorized ShipCenters. You'll hear us call that FASC all day long because we love our acronyms at FedEx. So all told, I want to say we're well over 20,000 total locations, probably in the 20 to 30,000 location count across the U.S. We look at the United States only. That's what our program manages.
That's amazing. And, you know, with all those locations and all that responsibility, you still show up at events. And that's something that we really appreciate. That's how we've known you for many, many years, both of you, because you show up at these industry events, whether they're small, 50 people or hundreds of people or thousands of people. You're there at the FedEx table and you are building relationships and you're making bonds. And we don't just know you. Like, I feel like we're good friends, you know, and we've known each other for how long, Ty? It's been 8, 9, 10 years or whatever, but it's been quite a bit.
Yeah.
So we really appreciate it. In honor of FedEx, I've worn purple. Fahim has worn his
FedEx
special
St. Jude shirt.
Yeah.
We're really, really excited. The other thing I wanted to add, Marty, is they don't just show up. They show up with humility.
They do.
With gratitude. With an open conversation, because sometimes the conversations get tough, right?
Yeah.
Ty and Shari, you can tell it. Sometimes they come up at you at all angles. And so we have come together with a list of questions for you. Thank you for vetting these questions and making sure that we tell our listeners and our viewers that this comes from FedEx Corporate. And this is important for people to know because they ask us these questions.
Yeah.
And we're honored and grateful that you're able to answer them. So the first question we have is FASC's FedEx Authorized ShipCenters are authorized by FedEx. They're entrusted to use the company logo and the network. That's a great, huge trust, right, Marty?
It's an honor.
What can they do to make the brand look better and stronger? What can your retail partners do, specifically the FASCs, to make that brand look even better so they can soar with excellence?
So you're right. The authorized part in the title is huge. A lot of people don't realize we don't authorize customers to resell FedEx shipping services. That's a pretty high honor. So becoming an FASC, that's a key part to that you're able to, take that discount, mark it up and resell it. And that's, the huge part of your business, of course. From the, making our brand look better, we have something that we all go by inside the company. It's called the Purple Promise. And that is, I will make every FedEx experience outstanding. And so the only way you can do that is to own that at the individual level, right? So every interaction I have, you mentioned the trade shows, every time we're on the trade show floor, we're presenting, we're talking to people. I want that experience to be outstanding. I'm not at a counter, I'm not delivering packages. So I, have that limited interaction with the customer. So being there with you all, that's my opportunity to make that experience outstanding. So each one of us takes that to heart and we own that. We try to communicate that same spirit to our FASCs, right? We want you we're driving customers to your store. You're on our FedEx locator, you're promoted heavily through that, Google results and things of that nature. When they look up where's the nearest FedEx, they're going to find you. So we're sending our customers into your store trusting that you are representing the brand well. So really, I mean, that's what we need you to do. That's what you can do to soar higher is to, we've got a customer through your door, whether that's just a drop off or they've got a package they need to send to grandma and you're going to pack it, ship it, take loving care of it. Like that's every opportunity that you have to extend our brand to them, which is going to be professional. It's going to be, speedy and reliable, dependable, honest, accurate. We want all of those things. So, making sure your store appearance is professional and clean, making sure you're greeting them and welcoming them, listening to what they're asking about. What is it? It's not just an order taker or a transaction. It's problem solving, it's understanding, it's compassion.
Relationships. Love it.
Right. It's relationships. I know you all know this, and I don't know. I came from the old school retail customer support, as a teenager. And so to me, it's common sense how you treat people when they're in your business, and so use that, understand that that's an opportunity to build a relationship, to build repeat business, to expand, not just to take a drop off, but show them what you have to offer to that community. I mean, so that's a huge part. That hopefully is obvious. There are things out there that we always recommend, industry associations, obviously AMBC, RSA, the franchise groups, that have support like that. I think there are these consultant groups. It's called AYM High, if you've heard of them. They can help out with that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
we love it.
Those are some of the big pieces from me. Sherry, anything you want to throw on top of that pile?
I would just add to, I totally agree. Relationships are so important and vital to the success of your business. And also, just think about treating others how you want to be treated is very important. And thinking about, best practices, reach out to your peers as well, who are doing well in the industry. And then we have a wonderful newsletter, Ship Source, that comes out quarterly, where we also offer, advice and information where you could take a look at and see how to, make sure that you are representing the brand.
Love that. And, we've been in this industry a long time. I've been in it since 91 and you've been in it the last 20 years. And we've both run FASCs, FedEx Authorized Ship Centers. And now that we're on the consulting side, helping other stores soar and grow and become better, we are constantly reminding them that you are representing the brand. So whatever you're authorized for. So when you get this authorization for FedEx, it's an honor. It's not a right. It's not a whatever. It's an honor that you're bestowed on you. And as part of that comes a responsibility, and that's
with great power comes great responsibility. I had to say that.
You had to say
because you're like FedEx superheroes,
right.
But we are representing the brand, so there's a responsibility to show people that we also are educated in the protocols set by FedEx, the federal government, shipping rules and laws,
Yeah.
we have to consistently invest in our learning, Marty.
Exactly.
And that's one thing I think that's really important. If we can ask Shari the second question first.
Absolutely.
And then Ty can go marathon it. Relay. Just
So,
saying.
Shari, just give our listeners that might be curious, and we're going to have a lot of listeners that are in the logistics and shipping business, because that's been our core, that's been our specialty. Although we do appeal to many business types, but just so people know the standards that are out there, what do stores need to do to become a FedEx Authorized Ship Center? Like, how will that application be approved? What are the basics of that?
So absolutely. The first thing you would want to do is to go out to fafcnet.com and take a look at the requirements. We require that's the primary pack and ship. They operate normal business hours, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays, Monday through Friday, and Saturdays are optional. Must offer, FedEx Services, of course, resale shipping, and drop-offs. And then going through the application process, once you decide, hey, I do want to become an FAFC, you can reach out to our retail support team. We have a team of about 7 dedicated agents that are strictly for FAFCs, no one else. And they are amazing. Reach out to them. They'll create an account number for you, and then you'll go back online to complete and submit your application. Once you submit it, then you'll go through the review process. You have to submit pictures that we ask for. All of that is part of the application, so you'll know that in advance. And if you are approved, our agents will, walk you through. We have a welcome kit that we'll send out, an illuminated sign that comes with it, and then marketing materials that are complimentary on the site that you can order. I think one thing that is important to note is that there are no automatic approvals. So just because you get an account number does not mean that your application will be automatically approved. You still have to go through the complete application process. Ty, did I miss anything?
I think you had the marathon covered. I'm just going to do the sprint.
I love it.
And it's great because I want to reiterate. Can you reiterate that, Ty? Like that just because you get an account number, because we've sent several people to you from our consulting, clients.
They just don't understand. And we read it like they don't have their brand ready. Their website's not up. Their window signage isn't there. They haven't done photos. And the place just isn't up to par yet. And we try to, as graciously as possible, but as firmly as possible, let them know that there's a standard. And FedEx isn't just going to willy-nilly give out an authorization, because you're going to be selling their brand and representing their brand. So you have to look the part, and you have to act the part. Excuse me. So Ty, if you could expand on that a little bit.
I like to clarify, or at least, let everybody know we're not trying to squash your hopes and dreams. Like, we do everything we can to approve. If you're a willing applicant and you're really wanting to do this, we do everything we can to make sure that approval happens. If you're taking the steps necessary, we're not just trying to look for every little thing or reason to decline you. We're on the opposite. We're looking at every reason to approve you, and then prove us wrong on the other part. So it's mainly protecting our brand as well, right? And we don't want you, it goes in the other direction too. You may have stores that are going to be great FASCs. They're really prepared. They just maybe didn't have something all together at the time of the application.
Yeah.
You get the other end of the spectrum where people know the things and the ways to do it, and they can make it look like they're great, and they're doing something completely different. And so, at the end of the day, when, I'm going to send a customer to you, I don't want to get, hear from that customer to say, why are they on the program? This store is terrible. They're so mean, they didn't know anything about shipping, that kind of thing. So we're going to do everything we can. I know, we have these requirements in place because we have to have our standards and we have to have governance over the program. But ultimately, if you're doing the right things and you're really investing in your business, we're going to try to help you and get you onboarded.
Mm-hmm. Really all does come down to relationships, doesn't it?
It does.
Like everything.
It does.
Yeah.
And we're down to like 10 minutes left, just so you know, because time flies when you're having fun with amazing people that you really respect and honor.
Yes.
So we're going to ask one last question, and then we're going to end it with gratitude, opportunity, generosity, and authenticity are 4 words for the year. So can you both describe, because you're very busy people, we are honored and grateful to have your personal details. We do not give anybody your cell phone, obviously, but even in giving your email, I'm very careful, and Marty is as well, in vetting them.
We want people to do things properly. We don't want to just pass off everything to the heads of the program.
Yeah, and you've taught us. So you've also taught me, because obviously, as you know, my wife and I still run Island ShipCenter, one of the top 3 FedEx Spotlight stores in the country that we're honored to represent the FedEx brand. And I don't contact Ty unless it's like a $15,000 problem, literally.
Yeah.
So,
or you have a good joke that he might enjoy, because we know Ty pretty well.
Yes, no, absolutely. And I'm honored that you all subscribe to our newsletter. You don't unsubscribe us. But can you describe the chain of communication in the FASC network to get the quickest responses without crowding the inboxes of upper executives in the FASC program like yourselves? So what should they do? What is the protocol, the steps? If I can't track a package, we're not going to call you. What should they do if it's an FASC, a FedEx Authorized ShipCenter? What are those steps?
Yeah. And that's a great example. And you're right. And it's not just crowding our inboxes. It's just not efficient if the other channels exist that are better suited, because we're essentially going to get you interjected into that flow that you could have gone to begin with. So a good example about like tracking a package or filing a claim, just the highest level, FASCs at the heart of everything, they're FedEx account holders. You're held to the same standards of the same terms and conditions that every other FedEx account holder is held to. And you have the same customer support options available to you. Just so think in terms, if you just start with whatever your question or issue is, kind of like what level does it come from, right? Is this a general FedEx account holder type item? And if so, use those levels of support. Our general customer support, the 800number.com. If you've got one, sales rep is a great route to go. So, filing claims, if you got a billing dispute, things like that. Yeah, we can help get you there, but we're going to get you into the same path that you probably could have got to anyway. So next level up, I think from that, I'm trying to think through my normal chain of commands. So we, Shari mentioned our retail support team. It's about 7 agents. So if your issue is related to, I hate to say issue, if your challenge, or if your opportunity lies within
your opportunity,
right?
Your question,
If there's a little hurdle,
if your speed bump applies to, if it's something that's specific to you being an FASC, if it's pricing or, things of that nature, compensation, whatever. Discounts, all that good stuff. Then that's where it's more appropriate to come to the program support. And again, that's our retail support agents. That's retail support at FedEx.com. We also have our 800 number. They can help you frontline. They can also do the warm transfers into FedEx.com if it happens to be a billing or, tracing issue or something like that. They can also escalate with our team directly. So then the next level is our FASC team inbox. And so you mentioned, straight from corporate, Memphis, Tennessee, although we do, we represent Pittsburgh and Plano as well. So we got to give shout outs to them.
Absolutely. Shout out to Plano, because my son lives there too now. Woo!
So in addition, you've got the FASC team, which is about 5 or so of us that are at the corporate level. We manage the inbox. We all have a different kind of area of the program that we're, an expert in. And so we can powwow real quick. We can get it to the right person. If it needs a decision from a higher up, things like that, then we can get those decisions made and we can get that, addressed like that. So that's kind of, I know our 10-minute timing. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to do the marathon, but
that's
like,
okay.
just think about what level it's at. And, we get these crazy pickup issues that get escalated to Raj. You wouldn't believe some of the stuff. We're like,
Gosh.
it was a pickup
CEO.
issue.
It just doesn't matter. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah,
Crazy.
you'd be amazed at some of the stuff we see. It's pretty funny, or not funny. Hashtag not funny.
Not funny.
And just in case Raj is watching this episode, I'm trying to track the package to India, Raj. If you can just assist me, I'm sure like those emails come too, right? Like, goodness gracious, poor guy.
Yeah, it's some interesting stuff. Shari, did I miss anything? That's kind of our general flow, and if you think in advance kind of where it falls, then that will help you to get into the appropriate, chain a little bit. Yep.
And that's part of relationships is just knowing what's appropriate or what's not appropriate for the situation sometimes. I'm sorry, Shari, I did not mean to talk over you.
No, that's okay. I was just going to say one thing. If you don't remember anything that Ty just said, contact retail support, our retail support team, and they will get you to the right, they'll do the warm transfer that Ty mentioned, but exactly what he said will get you to assistance that will help you get your question answered quickly instead of trying to route to us if it doesn't need to be. And then we have to send it to someone else to get you directly to the person you need to talk to. But if you don't remember anything else, contact retail support.
Yeah. I think it's, go ahead, Ty.
I was going to say, I left off our team, our internal corporate team. It's really best if the other channels have failed, if you're not getting the resolution, if it's dragging on, or again, it requires that escalation, by all means, I don't mind jumping in. Shari and I we can cut through it. If we're not the decision makers ourselves, we can get those involved and get that taken care of. So it's kind of like you show that you've tried, you know what I mean? Like, I don't just, every time I've got a problem, I don't just ping my director and say, hey, can you fix this? It's like, I've tried all my channels first. I've put in some effort. I'm not just passing the problem on to somebody else.
Yes.
And again, anyway, we're happy to help, though. You know that.
I think it's important. One thing I want to specify, Marty, because you may have known this, I did not until very, very recently. There are just 7 people working on all those stores.
Yeah.
And they're human beings trying to serve human beings. So it's so important as we lend into, our kindness mantra and our words of the year, that I'm sure you're going to get a great level, higher chance of assistance with a little bit of respect and a little bit of kindness in terms of your attitude. And you can even do that in an email.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what it kind of makes me think of, Fahim? Like, we've both run these businesses for decades. And when you reach a certain point, you have a staff, you still have those clients and those guests who come in that need to speak with you and need to see you every time, which is great. That's the relationship. That's wonderful. But as you grow, there are times when you just need to kind of tuck away in your office for a minute and let your team handle it. So
or an hour.
It's finding that balance, right? Isn't it? When you have that, and it's understanding the value of those relationships and being there for those people, but also understanding the value of giving yourself the space to focus on the things that you need to focus on so that the business can continue to serve its team and its clients. Yeah.
As we end this episode, I would love, so this is being recorded in January, and we're very hopeful that in February 2026, it'll come out sometime, the inaugural episode. We're really excited. Marty and I have been working diligently for the past 24 months.
Yes.
And Ryan McCarthy, our amazing videographer and guru
and producer
is, he'll be on an episode
sitting right over there.
He's absolutely amazing. And, there's a wait list for his business, to get business, if you want him to work on your business. But the 4 mantra words for 2026 that Marty and I came up with opportunity and generosity.
And I came up with authenticity and gratitude. So we each chose 2 words so that we could have 4 words to really put. And I printed these out. I put them on the mirror that's above my desk at my home office. We're trying to check ourselves with them, with each thing that we do, with each article we put out on our blog and our newsletter, with our coaching clients, that this is our focus. Because if this is in focus, then everything else is going to kind of come into view.
And we're trying to live it too. And sometimes when you're teaching a message, you get tested a little bit harder, Shari. And I think this might be, it might tug at your heartstrings because I'm going through an illness with my mother right now. And that has been an obstacle for my sister and me, and for my entire family, and for her grandkids, right? My sister has 4 and I have 5, and it's been really, really difficult. And last night I went home and I was talking to her, and she said, we really have to be grateful. I have 9 grandchildren, and I have this amazing team of people, and you and Seema and and your sister and everybody, and my brother-in-law is amazing, and everybody is helping out, and she's got so much support, Shari and Ty. It's just, that's how in my life right now, I am channeling that obstacle and turning it into opportunity. So my message is, you have to find that light within the darkness, the seeming difficulty. You have to find it and really channel it and push it forward. That's going to be my message.
And Fahim, when you talk about your mom, remember years ago, she would text you once or twice a week, or I don't know how often it was, with inspirational quotes. And you would every now and then share them with me, which was an honor. And I just, every time I think about your mom, who allows me to call her mom too, which is the most precious thing in the world.
You're the only
because we are brothers from other mothers, but we take each other's mothers.
Mama MoJo, absolutely.
Yeah, but those quotes, it made an impact on me, because they weren't just like, I got these out of a book or whatever. They were curated. They were thoughtful. I think some of them were her own, and every time I think of her, I think of that. So it's always a very aspirational, inspirational, but just with gratitude, because that has helped me, and it makes an impact. So when you live with these, when you're generously giving gratitude and all that, it makes a lasting impression, And so with that thought, we are very, very grateful, Shari and Ty, that you've taken some time to spend it with us today, that you were able to come on this podcast. We have been working on this, trying for about 2 years, getting ideas together, getting our logo made, getting our guests lined up, we weren't ready 2 years ago. When we launched AYM High Consultants, we wanted this to pair with it, but we just needed to let it gel, and to let the timing be what it is. So we're very grateful that timing is now, and 2026 is here. We are launching. Thank you so much for joining us, for dedicating your time. Thank you also for the years of investment in our industry and in the relationships with valuing that smaller store that is an FASC, just like you would value that larger outlet. And it truly,
it matters.
It's why FedEx is number one. It stands out.
Yeah.
And,
it really
impactful.
matters. Do you have any final words for us, for our guests, and for our listeners and watchers?
I'll let Shari go, because I want to put her
Oh
on the
man.
watch.
Well,
Ty, what's the last word? Is that what you're saying?
Famous last.
Mic drop.
Yeah, you all made me think about gratitude. And so my mom passed away in November.
I know.
And even, the last days of her life, she was just expressing gratitude and thanking everyone, the hospital staff, the friends, the family. And in her last, night before she died, she was saying joy. And that gratitude continued, and could barely speak, but saying joy. And so when you think about that, just overall in life and in business and everything, get back to gratitude, because I feel like it changes everything. And even with what I have to dealing with now, I go back to gratitude and try and list the things that I'm thankful for. And I think about that moment, that in that time, that is what you're still doing, instead of, you could be saying a whole lot of things, but that is what, happened. So I'm glad that you mentioned that, but just, if you keep that same spirit throughout your life and your business and everything, it goes a long way, because there will be those frustrating moments in business, and just working through them. And it's just, let me get back to gratitude. So I'm glad that you all mentioned that.
Joyful people are have gratitude as their
Absolutely.
focus. And then the people that are kind of, joy suckers or whatever you want to call them, like the joy vacuums out there are the ones that complain, and they focus on the negative instead of focusing on the positive. It's really what you choose to look at, and it's what you choose to dwell on. Ty, do you have any last thoughts?
My gosh, I shouldn't have let her go first because
She had the mic job.
I know she did. I was like, yeah. No, I mean, starting from a position of gratitude changes everything. It changes your whole mindset, your posture, everything. Leads to humility, it leads to joy. It's just it just shifts everything, shifts your whole mindset and reframes your entire outlook on everything. So I think that's huge. I still have the little plaque we got from the event in 2023.
Gratitude.
We've all got
It sits on my dresser. That's great. I think originally I thought we were all diving into each one, so I was like lining up something for authenticity.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Fine.
Yeah,
If anyone is going to talk about authenticity, it's our friend Ty, right?
Yes, and the fact that you were authentic about saying that, please go ahead.
No, I mean, that's kind of, I don't know, I won't say my thing, but you're going to get my honest response 99.9% of the time.
Yes.
Having to vet our responses and stuff through legal is kind of hard for me because I just want to talk to you. I just want to talk to you as a human and as a business owner and say, hey, look, I know that sucks, but here's what happened and this is what's going on, or here's what we're doing. And I think ultimately, if you can do that, people appreciate that, and they know that you can come to you. Like, I don't mind when Fahim texts me or Marty sends me something, like, because I'm going to give you my authentic self. I know you guys are doing the same thing. Sure. I share, I don't know, Fahim, you can cut this if you want later, but one of my favorite moments with you are when you kind of drop your guard some and you're just like, you're not that you're not authentic all the time, but when you do your authentic self, like it's just you and I know you remember like our car ride to the airport
I
at
do
Buffalo.
very well.
Like one of my favorite all-time memories, not just with you, but just like in life. Just I loved just you got in the car and you're just like, oh, and I was like, I hear you, and we just talked the whole way, and it was great. And like that's relationship, that's authenticity, that's it's why we enjoy this job. Like we have 5,000, FASCs. In any moment, any one of those, I can get an email from them. I can get a text message. I can get a call. And so it's like, you just kind of have to be ready. You have to be yourself because you can't be fake every time you answer the phone. You can't, you know what I mean? Like you have to be you or else you're just going to drown in it. So, that's not near the mic drop that Shari provided.
It's
Also,
pretty
the
close
background-
though. It's dadgum close. You like how I did that, dadgum? Okay, so we would love when we do our second or third season. We would love to have both of you all back. You like how I did that, Shari? I practiced.
I heard that. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. I just got back from Dallas. So y'all come back now, and thank you so much for being here, for being you, for being authentic, gracious, generous, grateful, and just amazing human beings. And we want to change the world by being ourselves and serving others without expecting anything in return. And if we can do that, it's like lighting a spark and a candle and making light into the world. So that's my message.
Yes. And I just say thank you for that.
Absolutely.
And I echo it. And thank you both. MoJo Motivation is the official podcast of AYM High Consultants. Your co-hosts are Fahim Mojawala and Marty Johnson. Special thanks to Seema Mojawala and our producer, Ryan McCarthy. Learn more at mojomotivation.com or aimhigh.com. That's AYMHIGH.com.